Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1272. 1272. I'm Mike Matthews. Yoo-hoo. It's Friday. Aren't you excited to listen to Mike's Daily Podcast for Friday? And I applaud you for... I'm just going to use my own applause sound effect that I make from my own hands for listening to this show all week, or today, or whenever you started listening. Thank you so much. It's Mike's Daily Podcast. Live from Café Anyway, the last place on earth somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, and Mike's Daily Podcast. Today we have the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, and Benita. We're gonna get down with them. They're really neat people, and you need to be with neat people on a Friday. I think I have to lie down somewhat. I say, Mike's Daily Podcast. Fell asleep during my song, but I didn't mean to. I meant to keep rocking on. Mike's with the show. Daily but Podcast. I've gotten a little silly. Sorry. But I was walking Basil the Boxer yet again yesterday, and I realized my life is basically walking my dog and doing my job. Dog and job is what it is. Oh, and then yelling at all the people on the periphery that have to do with, like, my healthcare, because I got new company healthcare, and they told me one thing. They've told me several things along the way, and I've documented. I have it papers back here somewhere in a bag, and I need to see what they have said, because they keep contradicting themselves, and they need more papers and all that, and somebody else needs more papers, and it's just crazy. Don't you hate administrative BS? And by BS, I mean brilliant sunshine that comes out of a cow. I have to tell you that I enjoy C-SPAN. When I come in to work, I turn on C-SPAN, and I love listening to the calls that call into. They got a show in the morning where they take callers. Oh, look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? How's your ear? My ear is great. It's healed up. Yes, it's not swelled up anymore. Thank you for the ointment. You're welcome, Mike. I knew you'd like that ointment. It came from a pig. The ointment came from a pig? Yeah. Oh, I was going to have a pig sound effect right there. Oh, this will have to do. You're welcome, Mark. And look who else is here.
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Trump put in a Supreme Court judge, or has him up for, he's a nominee. Now he has to be vetted. And he yelled at the Australian president. He's been busy. I love him.
You love Trump, huh?
Yeah.
Look who else just walked in.
Hello, Mike. I'm Mike the Root Beer. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, boy. I have some delicious Australian root beer that I can't export to Australia anymore because they hate us.
Yes, they hate America now. Their president got into it in a phone call that was secret. We didn't know that there was a argument between the two until, like, just now. Delays. Trump said this about the phone call whilst he was at the prayer conference he was at yesterday, which, by the way, someone that I record a show for, she's a pastor, she says this.
It's Christmas time.
At Christmas time. She was at that conference, so when I record her next time, I'll have to ask her all about it. But Trump said this.
Freedom of religion is a sacred right, but it is also a right under threat all around us. And the world is under serious threat in so many different ways. And I've never seen it so much and so openly as since I took the position of president. The world is in trouble, but we're going to straighten it out, okay? That's what I do. I fix things. We're going to straighten it out. Believe me, when you hear about the tough phone calls I'm having, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. They're tough. We have to be tough. It's time we're going to be a little tough, folks. We're taken advantage of by every nation in the world virtually. It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore.
You got it. I got it all taken care of. And then he said this about Arnold Schwarzenegger at a prayer conference. He said this.
We had tremendous success on The Apprentice, and when I ran for president, I had to leave the show. That's when I knew for sure I was doing it. And they hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster, and I want to just pray for Arnold if we can for those ratings, okay?
Oh my gosh. A millennial that I know who he went to a religious school down in Southern California called Azusa Pacific, and he told me he got to sing at some kind of prayer breakfast thing, and then he got to go to Washington, D.C. and
here's today's podcast picture.
Illegally sang in the rotunda of the Capitol. Apparently you're not supposed to do that, but anyway, someday I'll have him on the show, and he can tell the whole story. Anyway, Café Anyway.
Anyway.
The podcast pictures of Basil the Boxer barking at the Bay, and I've been meaning to bark at the Bay, whole Bay Area lately. What up? All the freaking driving is nuts. And then we've got protests going on. That's just crazy. It's like I'm in the Bay Area or something. So it can be frustrating at times. But the media and podcasts that I listen to and I watch are all about looking at the tea leaves. About what's Trump done the past 12 days? What does that mean for the next 4 years? And I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, that does not do a dang bit of nothing. Nothing works with looking at tea leaves, trying to figure it out. The media, and I'm going to yell at the media, Trump, so here, step aside. I'm going to yell at the media and podcasts that I love listening to, and podcasts are the future of media, whether you know it or not. Whether your old friend who's 70 years old has no idea what a podcast is, unless they're really hip, and then kudos to them. But I'm serious. Actually, a lot of people my age don't know what podcasts are, and it frightens me, and they need to get with the program. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't work anywhere. The election, I listened to so many podcasts before the election thinking, oh, well, they know if I listen to a bunch of these, I'll know who wins. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. So you hear a lot of doom and gloom, and just take it all with a little bit of salt. Not a lot of salt. Salt's bad for you. It can you need a little bit of it, but too much and you're dead. Finally, speaking of death, I've been looking at Facebook and seeing comments from people, in the memories section. They go, oh, this is what happened 5 years ago. And they show you a list of your memories on Facebook because I've been on Facebook for over 5 years, like 8 or 9 years or some crazy thing. And, people have died that I know since then. And the older you get, the more people die, the more things change. The older you get, things just change. And you look at these memories and you're like, oh my God, that was so long ago, it seems. That was such a different time. That was a world of difference away from what I am now. Completely different. And I see comments from people that are no longer on our planet, are gone off into the heavens to cheer up people in the spheres beyond. As I get all metaphysical and I don't know what I'm saying, but who knows what we're saying when we say things metaphysical. It's a whole thing, isn't it? That's what religion is. It's trying to get your finger and control the hereafter. Control, this is what God said, so I'm trying to control it. And now I know what happens to me when I die, because I know someday I'll die, and if I don't think about what's going to happen to me when I die, I get all stressed out. but we all die and no one knows the answer. That's what makes it so interesting. But I see a lot of my friends are now in the hereafter, and they're on Facebook still, and their comments forever live on. So what you should do is screen capture that. You know how to do that? I'm just going to tell you real quick if you don't. If you're on a PC, you take your print screen button, press that, then open up Paint, which you know I've opened up Paint many times. Every podcast picture you see has been altered in Paint in some way. I never alter the color of the picture. I never filter it. But I'll put, my logo on there and a little caption of what's happening, or I'll do my drawings, my cartoons in there. Which the next show will have a drawing of who I don't know. Of whom? Of who? Whatever. Cafe whatever. And that's... so then you open that, you hit Control V or paste in Paint, and then save that. Save it. Give it a name. And then you'll have that forever, that little comment. Because it's difficult to find that comment in Facebook once it's gone, once you've passed that memories day. So I like that. It's a little way of showing me people and reminding me about people. And you know what it reminds me too is of people I used to have friendships with, and that those friendships are done. They're gone because of, the divorce or whatever. I have people I've not spoken to since the divorce. I've spoken to my ex-wife. We still speak all the time. Again, maybe once a month, but we still speak. And they're friends of hers, though. Nope, nothing. It's gone, because his friends were really her friends, and nobody calls up much anymore. That's a line from a John Mellencamp song that I love called "I Want to Live the Real Life. I want to live my life close to the bone." I don't even know what the segment is today. I have completely gone this far into the show and not figured out what the segment is. What we haven't done in a while is I don't know. Why don't we make up a segment name? So, I guess to sum up, you should look into your past once in a while, thanks to Facebook. That's one good thing. It's about it. Is the Facebook, that it lets you see these things from your past. Because a lot of us are sharks, and we keep moving, and we never look behind us, and we just gotta keep moving and go. And you need to stop and pause. The unexamined life is not worth living. And you need to look back sometimes, is all I'm saying. Okay, why don't we do the segment called the news bleed section? That sounds good.
The Newsbleed section.
If it bleeds, it leads. Well, this is definitely bleeding out my soul of the politicalness. The Republican-controlled Congress yesterday scrapped Obama-era rules on the environment and guns, counting on a new ally in the White House to help reverse years of what the GOP calls excessive regulation. This according to the Associated Press and MSN. The Senate gave final approval to a measure eliminating a rule to prevent coal mining debris from being dumped into nearby streams. Yeah, okay, so now that's all right to do that. What are we gonna do next? Put all the lead back in the water? While the House backed the lead is still in the water, never mind. The House backed a separate resolution doing away with extended background checks for gun purchases by some Social Security recipients with mental disabilities. Oh, thank you, House. That's gonna go back. That's gonna come back and bite everyone, not just the people that thought that was ridiculous to begin with. It's gonna bite the people that decided to... Thanks, House. The Senate's 54 to 45 vote sends the repeal of the stream protection rule to President Donald Trump, who is expected to sign it. The gun measure awaits Senate action, and since the Republicans run the Senate, well, you know what's going to happen next. Republicans and some Democrats say the coal mining rule could eliminate thousands of coal-related jobs and ignore dozens of federal, state, and local regulations already in place. Speaking of Republicans, did you hear John McCain called up Australia to apologize? Not to apologize, but to try and smooth things over from what the Trump call did over the weekend. Isn't that great? What we do without McCain. McCain is helping us every step of the way. I never thought I'd be so pro McCain. You know, we did put him in office 8 years ago, but he's helping us out in more ways than he could have ever done as president. And by the way, as I was mentioning the C-SPAN callers earlier in the show and got sidetracked, as I watched the C-SPAN and they call in to give their opinion, they say that, you know, they're always old and they go,
I love C-SPAN. And I have never, ever liked Obama. But this Trump is a bozo. And like I said, I never liked Obama.
and then they repeat themselves about 8 more times until the host finally goes, okay, thanks, Detroit, calling in. The Interior Department, which announced the rule in December, said that it would protect 6,000 miles of streams and 52,000 acres of forest, preventing coal mining debris from being dumped into nearby waters. The vote was the first in a series of actions Republicans are expected to take in coming weeks to reverse years of what they call excessive regulation during Obama's tenure. Rules on fracking, federal contracting, hey, that was a nice little poem that lasted one stanza, and other issues also are in the crosshairs as the GOP moves to avoid a host of regulations finalized during Obama's last months in office. Mitch McConnell, who sounds exactly like the new Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, that you can't separate the two. I swear, if you listen to them both, they look different, but if you listen to them both talk, they sound exactly the same. He called the stream rule an attack against coal miners and their families. Wait, isn't the coal industry like going the way of the dodo? Why are we... I thought it was all about fracking now. They said it would have threatened coal jobs and caused major damage to communities in Kentucky and other coal-producing states. Why are we doing this? The legislation we passed today will help stop this disastrous rule and bring relief to coal miners and their families, said McConnell. Because we need to keep an industry that should have died out long ago, keep it going. Democrats called the vote an attack on clean water and it's a clear win for big coal mining companies and other polluters. As we go outside of Café Anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. A Democrat from Washington by the name of Senator Maria Cantwell said the stream rule had nothing to do with the decline of coal, which faces stiff competition from cheap natural gas. That's what I was trying to say. Coal is going the way of the dodo because of cheap natural gas. Next show, hopefully, will be a more happier one. Be more positive. We will have the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, hey, I am going to be on the internet on a country station this weekend. So listen to my show on Country Crossroads Radio. And that's all I wanted to promote. Okay, we'll end the show now.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, I forgot. Also, mikesdailypodcast.com, which Ariel just mentioned there. Yes, go there and help us out through the Amazon link. Click on the Amazon link. Buy whatever it is you're going to buy. For the, maybe this weekend you're going to buy a bunch of crap. Go buy that crap through the Amazon link, and that helps us out. There's also a PayPal if you want to help us out that way. You'll become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters. And check out all the past podcast pictures and past interviews I did. All there at mikesdailypodcast.com. We could use some more love on that website. I think last weekend, no one went on the website at all, so that was pretty sad. Don't be sad. Be happy. And you can also call us at 336-MM Daily.